I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and what that means is that it doesn't mean that it's worse than anything else. It just means that there's multiple points of trauma. So, you know, I understand people who have been through realms of violence that often aren't understood, i.e. I've been in a large school shooting, for example. Be right here on the edge of it would be really great.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's the perfect spot, so we'll just wait for that to heal. That's not a big deal. I've done a lot of healing, and so I can be in a space where people can talk about stuff that I've lived through, or I may not have lived through, but I've lived through something similar, and I've got enough space between me and it that it doesn't need to be about me and my trauma, but I can also just sit there and not do the whole, oh wow, oh really thing, where it's like, okay.
I lean towards physical pain for pleasure, for healing, right? Not everyone does. And so that, I mean, this works for me.
After my mother died in 2008 and a bunch of other events and deaths and other traumas, I became very lost. This work represents my ability to be a person who can live again. With the hospital-related trauma that I had, which is related to specifically this IV that was put in here, and the flashbacks and so on and so forth that would come from being mistreated as a migraine sufferer in the hospital. I now have a beautiful piece of art here, and because of this, when I encounter having to go to, say for example, having to go to the ER, I have this work and I'm able to use this as an empowering device or a technique.
I love what you said about the way that trauma lingers, the way that it stays, and I feel like trauma is so uninvited by society. No one wants you to have it, no one wants to deal with it, and tattoos like this can be a way of inviting it to the table, not as who you are, but like a piece.